What is going on, everyone, and welcome to the Flyers recap this time. So welcome back to TTP Sports. We just got done our Sixers recap, and now we're going to get into our Flyers recap here because both teams played at the same time. So basically, when I'm watching everything in my, little area right here, my studio, I got 3 screens on here. So when everything started, basically, the big screen went to, NCAA tournament March Madness there. I got one TV watching the Sixers game. I got my computer screen watching, the Flyers game. So there was a lot of action going on. Definitely. So Sixers lose. Flyers lose this game as well. Another tough loss. So we're going to get into all of that here. So Flyers lose 5-4 against the Nashville Predators. And I was very surprised that the Flyers were even involved in this game. When I'm watching this entire thing, I'm just like, what? The Flyers only had like 5 shots, that's like during the second period. I'm like, what? What the hell just happened? How are we winning? And 2, how the hell is the Flyers even in it? 3, how the hell did this game even tied going late into the game regardless? But still, I guess I can say it's a hard-fought battle for this Flyers team. Like, I'm really not going to complain about much because we know where this team is at. We know what they are. We know it. We know it at this standpoint. And basically, the thing I've been stressing, for these backstretch of games is consistency and, building good habits. We saw some good habits in this game. We saw some of the same old Flyer stuff that just showcase what type of team they are. So, and the Flyers still showcase that they're going to be involved in these games. They're not going down easy. The only times when it looks like they go down easy, it's just, describing, how bad of the team they are. That's basically the entire standpoint about this. So before we get into all of this stuff with this Flyers game here, what is going on, everyone? And welcome back to TTP Sports. The most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events. This is the place to be at, depending on the outcome, great or miserable, depending on the outcome. Also, if you are a current viewer of the channel, I am grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for tickets, upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So that could be tickets to go see the Sixers down at the Wells Fargo Center, opening day tickets for the Phillies. Definitely can't pass that up. You want to put yourself through a Flyers game? Why not? When the Eagles come back, definitely use those there. Can't pass up a free $20 in your pocket. Use that for parking. Use that for concessions at the arena or the stadium. Definitely cannot pass that up. Use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek today. So, very, very, very weird game in total because the Flyers, in my honest opinion, had no business being in this game, especially if you look at the first period, because the Flyers in the first period, they get outshot 14-4, and they led the period at the end 2-0. So what I see from there is a perfect description of what the hell hockey is, because one team can be dominating the entire period and somehow they are still losing the game just because of why the hell not. And this first period for the Flyers, the call of opportunistic. Morgan Frost made a very nice play on the first Flyers goal in this period. Also, UC Saros, very sluggish, very, very struggling for Nashville very early in this game. And just looking at this first period right here, like I said, Morgan Frost makes a very good play defensively in the offensive zone, just basically forcing a turnover off Phil Forsberg. He comes in, does a nice little move, and then hands the puck over to Travis Sanheim, who just snipes it past Saros, making it a 1-0 Flyers lead. Goes top cheese there. So, hey, nice play by Morgan Frost. And I believe he had a really good game, actually. This is probably one of Morgan Frost's best games, so far this season. And it's nice to see that he's still building that chemistry with Owen Tippett. And Owen Tippett, the past couple of games, he's been, I would say, off and on. I'm not going to really overvalue anything right here. Basically, like I said, I'm looking for consistency and I'm looking for this team to build, good habits, consistent habits. And that's basically the most important thing that I'm looking for right here. So if you look for the rest of this period, Nashville dominated, really, really dominated, because the Flyers, they had some chances going up the ice, but they really weren't able to convert on anything, really not get any, type of shot on net. When they clear the zone, there were some instances where Saros looked very sluggish, especially on some dump-ins where he maybe turned the puck over, but the Flyers weren't able to cash in on those standpoints. But Martin Jones came up big in that first period. There were some power plays for Nashville in this game. Flyers power play was actually, pretty solid in this game. They killed off both Nashville power plays in this game. So not going to complain that much. And then we go towards the end stages of this period, and a very weird play. Flyers break out for a little bit of an odd man rush, a little bit of a 3-on-2 situation here. And I thought this play was a little bit broken up because of the passes that they were making. But, Cam Atkinson, he passed it over to JVR. Atkinson crashes the net. JVR throws it to the middle where, you got Atkinson tied up with one of the defenders there. And the puck finds Joel Fairview, who I think knocks it down with his glove and gets it to his backhand, finds a way to put it past Saros. Because if you look at Saros this entire time, he has no idea where the puck is. He has no idea where the hell the puck is at all. So, hey, Fairview cashes in, makes it 2-0 Flyers, and there you go. Bada bing, bada boom, 2-0 Flyers going into the intermission. And there were a couple of fights in this game. You got Patrick Brown going up, putting some fights right there. I'm trying to remember who the fight was against because there were so many things. Yeah, Luke Kunin. Luke Kunin had himself a nice game for Nashville as well. I'm trying to think, who the hell did Patrick Brown fight? Because there were a couple of those in this game because there was another fight. There was a fight in the first period. Then you got the fight with Hodgkins and you got Carrier as well. No, actually going up against Luke Kunin because Luke Kunin had 2 fights in this game. So, hey, Nashville, I think during a stat one of the games, they were the most fights in the league, I believe, with almost 45. I believe it was 45 after this game ended, but they have a lot of fights this year. So basically explanation of what Nashville, style hockey is like. They are going to fight. They are not afraid to drop the mitts. And it's showcased in this game. The Flyers, were afraid to back down from the competition. So you go into the second period. You're up 2-0. You can already tell, Nashville's dominating. They did. Early on, got Brennan putting in the puck, making it 2-1 Flyers actually very early in the second period. But then not that long after, the fourth line out there makes a very nice play. Max Willman specifically, Nashville controlling in the Flyers zone. Max Willman blocks a shot, and then he springs himself going into the neutral zone for a breakaway, and he manages to put a top cheese past Saros to make it 3-1 Flyers. But then going through the rest of this period, Trennan again scores, and this was just basically, a weird scenario. It was a 2-on-1. Connaughton was making the right play, trying to basically take away the pass. He did the right thing, but the pass from Granlund was just very pitch perfect. He just flipped it over Connaughton's body, and he put it right on the stick of Trennan once again, and he puts it into net, making it 3-2 Flyers lead. And then not that long after, it is Luke Kunin scoring, making it a 3-3 game, and then eventually Phil Forsberg scores late in the second period, making it a 4-3 Nashville lead. So a lot of goals for Nashville in this period. There were 6 goals in total in this third period. So, yeah, a lot of things went down in this specific period. The Flyers, down 4-3 late in the second, and JVR ties it. A lot of shit happened. I'm watching one TV, and then basically when I flip-flopped to one TV, the score changed for the Flyers. I flip-flopped again, score changed again. So I'm like, what the fuck happened? It was just a weird game. And in the third period, I was very surprised there was no scoring. There was barely any score. Now, I'm not going to say no scoring because there was a very late goal in this period that gave Nashville the win. But I'm surprised there really wasn't much, from basically what we saw the entire game. I was very surprised there was, not much going for them. Really not much. And the Flyers kind of looked like they were the better team. They outshot Nashville in this period, 9-7. I was like, can they pop one here? Can they find a way to squeak a victory or maybe even pull it to overtime? But no, Nashville showcased in the later stages of this period because they were dominating in the later stages. You got a point shot from Roman Josi. Basically, they're controlling it in the Flyers zone this entire time. Point shot. It looks like it deflects off of one of the Flyers in front. I couldn't tell who it was at the time, but then the puck also deflects in off of Tanner Jeannot, and it goes past Martin Jones, making it a 5-4 Nashville lead with a little over a minute left in this game. And that's basically how it's going to end. The Flyers try to call the timeout. They pull the goalie. They really don't. I guess they had their chances to set up, but it kind of felt like they were taking their time a little too much, not really, realizing how much time is left on the clock. And that's how your game ends. 5-4, your final. That's how the Flyers lose. And looking at some of the stats in this game, Flyers, shots on goal. Nashville outshot the Flyers 35-23. First period, Nashville outshot them 14-4. Second period, Nashville outshoots them 14-10. And the Flyers outshoot Nashville 9-7 in the third period. 3 stars of this game: Tanner Janot, first star; Yarkov Trenin with the second star; and Roman Yossi with third star for the Nashville Predators. A clean sweep. Face-off percentage: Nashville won those 60% to 40%. Both teams go scoreless on the power play. Nashville 0 for 2 and the Flyers 0 for 1. A very physical game, 32 hits to 29 in favor of Nashville. Flyers blocked a lot of shots in this game, 18 blocks, and Nashville turned the puck over a lot in this game. That's very surprising. Very, very, very surprising. So if I go to the Flyers, just looking at the standings right now after this loss and just see everything that's, transpiring now. So, this road trip, they lose in Detroit, they beat St. Louis, they lose the back-to-back in Colorado where they basically just got blown out, and they lose today. So you're 1-3 on this road trip, and right now where you stand, you are still 7th place in the Eastern Conference with 53 points, not the Eastern Conference, the Metropolitan Division, with 53 points, 21, 34, and 11. And looking at the entire league right now, you are still the 6th worst team in the National Hockey League. The teams that are below you: the Ottawa Senators, the New Jersey Devils, the Seattle Kraken, the Montreal Canadiens, and the Arizona Coyotes. So it's going to be a weird ending to the season. It definitely is. Because there's one more game to be played in March, and that's going to be this Tuesday in Minnesota against the Wild. And it seems like, actually, before this game even started, the Flyers did sign one of their college prospects, Noah Cates, to his entry-level contract, which is only a 2-year entry-level contract, and the first year is going to start, as soon as he joins the team this year. So I would assume from that standpoint, he's most likely going to suit up in a Flyers uniform Tuesday against Minnesota. So that's what I'm expecting from that standpoint. And that's good to see. That's what I'm really expecting from the Flyers right now. When a lot of these kids at college that they have as prospects, they're most likely going to sign them when their seasons are done with the NCAA tournament. Minnesota Duluth just lost, so that's why the Flyers signed Noah Cates. You still have Ronnie Attard. You still have Bobby Brink. You still have some other college prospects as well. So when Bobby Brink's, season is done with Denver, I would expect him to sign his contract. When Attard's season is done in Western Michigan, I would expect him to sign his ELC. And basically, these guys are probably going to play with the Flyers. I would expect when you sign Brink, he's going to play with the Flyers. I would expect him to come onto the roster. Attard, maybe he goes down to the Phantoms, because it's going to be a weird situation because you only have one more call-up left post-deadline. And basically, after that, it's just a bunch of emergency call-up situations. So I would assume Noah Cates gets the call-up. He's going to play with the Flyers for maybe the next couple of games. And then eventually, when Brink's season ends, they're going to sign him to his ELC. Attard, I would expect it go down to the Phantoms for him. So there's going to be some signings. We're going to see some young guys get some looks here. There's some young guys that are looking a lot better game after game. Morgan Frost is looking better game after game. Owen Tippett, those guys are continuing their chemistry. I feel like Owen Tippett's going to pot one eventually. I think it's just eventually he's due for one. Cam York, he's looking better game after game. Ivan Provorov has been looking a lot better as well. Travis Konecny, same thing, has been looking a lot better as well. Kevin Hayes is looking healthier and healthier. And that's basically what you're looking for the rest of the season. Just build good habits, consistency, all those things building in the next year until what this team does in the offseason. We just got to wait and see. That's basically everything you're looking for at this point. Consistency, building good habits, seeing what these young guys can do. That's all it is. So I see some guys in the live feed actually before I end this video off right here. I see Renee says, we freaking had it. We got Boomer in the chat saying, hey, liked everything tonight. Some fight, some scoring. Frost and Tippett look good, and our run for the #1 pick is still in play. Boomer also says, seems York is rounding into form as well. Yeah, York looks good. And I like that they're giving him first pairing minutes with Ivan Provorov. I like that they're doing that. So what are your thoughts on this game, everyone? What are your thoughts on this Flyers performance? Just basically going towards the rest of the season and everything like there. What are you looking to see most? Those good habits, building, seeing some of these young guys, what they can do. I want to hear all those thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below, so don't forget to leave those down there. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. Don't forget to check out the Panel Lines, which I'm a part of. The links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Flyer.pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that good stuff is down in the description below. Do not forget to check those out. Like I said at the beginning of the video, the most important thing you can do is hit that sub button and also use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. And